chased Tommy Burns around the world in order to get him into the ring with me. I took on every potential contender between myself and the champion. I virtually had to mow my way to Burns. Always he made excuses, and he openly insulted me by uttering unprintable remarks and calling me yellow.
Rather than face Jack Johnson, the champion Tommy Burns took on a series of white challengers. He fought and knocked out one man 3 different times, while continuing to tell reporters, all coons are yellow. But Johnson refused to be ignored. Everywhere Burns went, Johnson went too, mocking the champion. Burns was a good fighter and did not draw the color line exactly. He simply put a price on it, refusing to consider breaking it for less than $30,000. A sum so vast, he was sure no one would ever come up with it. He was wrong.
Now suddenly, the people behind Johnson are saying $30,000, Tommy. $30,000. We will pay you $30,000 to fight Jack Johnson.
Burns had run out of excuses. He accepted the $30,000, plus the lion's share of the proceeds that would come from showing movies of the contest. John L. Sullivan was livid. Shame on Burns, he said, for upsetting good American precedent. Johnson was to be paid just $5,000. But he'd gotten his chance.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So as was reported before, Devin Haney has already signed his portion of the contract to fight George Kambosos in Australia. He's already signed a 3-fight deal to not only fight Kambosos once, but twice. And the rematch has to be in Australia because this was one of George Kambosos' main stipulations in the contract. So like I said, Devin Haney, he signs a 3-fight deal to fight George Kambosos twice and then fight Vasyl Lomachenko. This means that everyone has done their part. Devin Haney and Top Rank, ESPN, they've all done their part except for George Kambosos. George, who had recently gave Devin Haney 3 days to sign the contract, saying you need to hurry up and get this done, it's good money, etc., etc. He said all of these things. Now, as soon as Devin Haney signs the contract, this is what George Kambosos is saying.
Yeah, look, it's not official yet. Obviously, no major official announcement has come through yet, but we're imminent. It is very close. I'm waiting to see his contract firsthand. I want to see it properly because he's the B-side, so you do as you're told, and we will make sure it looks all good. No fake signatures, and then we got to fight, no problem.
Now, first of all, you notice George Kambosos, he continues to use these type of covert comments by saying things like he does what he's told because he's the B-side. Like the clip I showed you guys at the beginning. He calls himself a man and then he calls Devin Haney a boy. Typical dog whistle comments. But with that all being said, you know, it sounds to me like George Kambosos is almost surprised that Devin Haney actually signed the contract. It's like George is saying, like, God damn. I mean, I'm taking the majority of the money. I'm going to have the fight in Australia. I even get a rematch in my backyard, and I get the same split in the rematch just in case I lose to him that I got in the first fight when I was the actual champion. And you're telling me Devin still signed the contract? I truly believe George Kambosos is actually surprised. He's surprised that Devin Haney, he took the deal. Just like the former heavyweight champion Tommy Burns was surprised that someone was willing to give him $30,000 at the time to fight Jack Johnson when Jack was only getting $5,000. But what really makes this situation really odd is the fact that everything in the contract were all of George Kambosos' demands. So the question is, why would it take George Kambosos this long to agree to his own terms? I mean, you heard him say stuff like, I gotta check it, I gotta make sure there's no fake signatures, etc., etc. At the end of the day, I believe George Kambosos, he is going to sign the contract because it's going to be way too difficult for him to get out of this fight. It's going to be way too difficult. There's way too much pressure. It would make George Kambosos look horrible if he once again was the one that made all of the demands, and then once your opponent signs the contract, you completely back out of the fight and go look for some other opponent. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I do believe that George is going to sign this contract. He is just taking his time. And my assumption is we should get an official announcement in the next couple of days. I'll be really surprised if George Kambosos finds a way to pull out of this fight. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
My name is Chris, and I'm all the way here from Anchorage, Alaska at Scalp Carolinas, and I'm here for my second treatment of SMP. Well, I was sitting at home one day and going over my Facebook page, and they have different, like advertisements popping up, and I saw one for SMP, and I saw some pictures of some guys, a before and after, and I was looking at that, and it caught my attention, so I Googled it. SMP, nothing showed up in my area. So, I did a little more research, and all of a sudden, Scalp Carolinas popped up in the web browser. So I started watching his videos and seeing all the reaction from all the other people. We talked on the phone, we made appointments and everything. I sent him pictures, and he looked at them, and I was like, can you fix this? And, he pretty much said, no problem. My first session, he made me feel extremely comfortable. It was almost like I was talking to family. He started, and during the whole treatment, we talked and, about our families and our life, and, and things that he does and things that I do. And before I know it, the first session was over. When you see someone doing something that they love, as much as I see Enoch Glover love what he does, it shows in his work. I wouldn't point anyone in any other direction but here to North Carolina, Scalp Carolinas, to get this done.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.